Divine ones, it's about time that you know who you are and who you are not. This world will try to tell you that everybody's the same, that we all want the same thing, and that is a lie from the pits of hell. That is nothing more than a lie to convince you out of your purpose, out of your destiny, and out of your inheritance. We're not all the same. And this is not about a hierarchy way of being. That is the way of the world. We're very much different, especially those of us that are divine. And it's not about being better. It's not about being less. It's just about being different and needing to know your true identity so you can truly walk into your purpose, your destiny, and your inheritance. And the interesting thing is, those who resonate with what I'm speaking about, those who actually understand what I'm talking about, you already knew. You already knew you were not like these people. You already knew. You spent a lot of your life studying and observing these people and realizing these are not my people. I don't even know if I belong to this world. See, I'm talking to divine people. I'm not talking to other people. And I'm going to do a teaching on that because my philosophy is that there's 5 levels of human. There's 5 categories of human, shall I say. We're not all the same, honey. And I want to give y'all a teaser to what I'm talking about because I know a lot of my divine folks, y'all can relate. There's been people that you've attempted to have conversation with or that you've come across where you can literally tell that there is no one home. It's almost like the soul is non-existent in this human that you're seeing. I know y'all have experienced that. It's almost like this person doesn't even feel like a being. They're almost just here. Then y'all have also had this experience of there are certain people where they can't go past what they've been told or what they've been taught. And they've never asked questions. Never asked a question. They simply believe whatever they've been told or what they've been taught. And if you attempt to have a discussion with them, it's a cognitive dissonance. It's almost like a PC. They shut down. You start seeing the brain working. They can't compute, honey. They shut down. I know y'all have had that. Y'all have had that experience where you'll try to ask somebody a question, something that they've said or that they believe. You'll try to get them to go deeper into it, to expound upon it. And they can't even explain why they believe what they believe. And they can't even begin to have a conversation. They can't critically think. Y'all have come across those people. These are levels of consciousness. These are different levels of consciousness in these different categories of humans. This gets much deeper than how the world presents it. And the thing is, a lot of times the levels of consciousness within these different categories of humans is kind of coded, and that's kind of where it is, unless there's a universal shift or elevation in consciousness, then they get the ability to expand if they want to. And that's if they're an actual real human, which that's a whole nother discussion. But y'all, that's a whole nother video. That video will be on YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, okay? Like I said, there's 5 categories. I just named off 2. But like I was saying, honey, yeah, know who you are. Know who your people are. So many of us have been attempting to fit in with these non-divine people. Let's just say it. Call it what it is. We've been attempting to fit in with these people of the world. These people that are in totally different categories. And then we wonder why we just have always been the outcast. Why people look at us like, how do you even exist? That's how they look at you. They're looking at you like, are you even real? because you're a little too divine. You're a little too perfect. And I'm not talking about in materials. I'm not talking about just in the physical of how you look. I'm talking about in your heart, your kindness, in your character, in your integrity, in your knowledge and your wisdom and your seeking, in how you treat the world, and how you treat the animals and the planet, and how you treat others, and how you easily manifest and create what you want in this life. You know, you don't fit in with them, and you never have. And anytime you attempted to fit in with them, they've always reminded you that you're not like us, baby. You're not like us. And honestly, you're not even welcome amongst us. Because when you come around, you make us feel bad. You're the mirror to our fullness. You're God's standard of excellence. You're literally an angel amongst men. You're the divine amongst men. So no, they can't understand you. They can't get you. They can't resonate with you. They can't embrace you. They can't accept you. Because there's something so powerful and potent about you. Your very energy shakes people to the core. Y'all, I recently had to finally accept the fact that I am scary to people. And this came after, it's like within the past couple years, people have been saying, oh, I've been dealing with my entire life, people feeling intimidated or insecure. I could literally just be sitting somewhere minding my business and somebody feel a certain type of way. But scary, that was new for me. I had to get used to realizing that people were insecure, realizing that people was intimidated, and even realizing that people was jealous. To me, that's type of stuff is so foreign to me that I didn't understand the concept. Why would you be jealous of me? I'm me, you're you. And I had to realize, oh, that is a way of this world. Jealousy, where people can look at what you have and how you look and what you're wearing, and it makes them feel bad, or they want it and they don't think you should have it. To me, that is weird stuff. But I had to realize that that was a way of this world. People feeling intimidated, people feeling insecure, those are ways of this world. My divine ones, people who we don't understand those concepts. A lot of us have to actually learn how to be human in this world because we don't understand the concepts of this world. We don't look at it as though if somebody has less money, they're not as good as us. Or if somebody has more money, they're better than us. No, money is just money. It's coins and paper and currency. You wasn't born with any in your hand, and you're not going to die with any in your hand. You can't take it with you. We don't value people on materialistic stuff. We don't say because you look like this and because you look like this, you're better, you're less. That's world shit. And it took me years to understand that. That's how humans operate. And we'll talk about that because, yes, a lot of times when you are divine, you have to learn how to be human. This world stuff and how these people of the world think is so foreign to you. It's so foolish to you. Because you're like, you really are moving from a one consciousness. You have to learn how to live within duality when you're divine. You have to learn how to live within this system of duality that the humans live in. But let's get back, because I'm going back to the conversation I'm supposed to be having on that other chat. But like I said, I had to get to the point of I finally accepted the fact that I am scary to people. Now, some of the men's told me that I scare them. Some of the women was like, oh, you just so You're overwhelming. And finally, my mentor was like, yeah, you are scary to people. You are scary. Like, you're an enigma. Compared to humans, it's almost like you're hard to believe that you exist because everything about you is so awe-inspiring. So yeah, that is very scary to humans. That's very scary to the people of the world because they don't know how to take you. That's why they want to nitpick to see where they can find your weakness or your flaw or where you're failing at. And when they can't find it, they even more pissed off. See, what you don't realize is that when you're divine, you are literally the son, the daughter of the Almighty. You're the son, daughter of God. And you're living amongst the sons and daughters of men. And the sons and daughters of this system. You are literally the blueprint. You are the standard of excellence. You're beautiful. You're kind. You're giving. You're talented. You're abundant. You're intelligent. You love and just want the best for everybody and everything. You have a pure heart. You have a pure spirit about you. You have integrity. You have abundance. And to top it off, you're handsome. You're beautiful. Your body, when you're taking care of it like you're supposed to, your body is phenomenal. You're a natural athlete in whatever you do, whether it's yoga, Zumba, sprinting, working out, whatever you do, you are the standard of excellence. And people see that and they feel that off of you. And they look at you because you're the mirror to them. And while they're supposed to be looking at you and rising and evolving and expanding the consciousness, and saying, I see God within you, and that's calling me higher. No, a lot of folks, they're going to look at you as their mirror, and they're only going to see where they lack. They're only going to see the scarcity within themselves. They're only going to see where they don't compare versus where they can be called to. Versus the abundance in them, versus the beauty in them. And truthfully, this is how I've realized who my people are. Because my people are not intimidated. My people are not scared of me. My people are not insecure around me. When my people see me, they see the divine within me. And it calls to the divine within them. It inspires them to their greatness. They see my beauty and they remember their own beauty. They see my excellence in business and they start remembering their excellence in business. They see my kindness and my generosity and it inspires them to remember how kind and generous they can be. That's how I know who my people are, because when they see me, they're inspired and they're called to remembrance. They're not called to envy, jealousy, and insecurity. And that's why I say I'm not for normal folks. I scare normal people. And I'm willing to accept that now. To me, it sounds weird as hell. Because truthfully, anybody who knows me knows I don't fear anybody or anything. The only thing I fear is not living my life to the fullest. And truthfully, I don't fear that. But when it comes down to people, when it comes down to systems, I don't fear any of that. And I don't see any of that as an authority to me. And this is why certain places like the military and corporate and some of these, people that got it going on in business and entertainment, this is why I've rubbed them the wrong way. Because I am not a respecter of person. I'm not a fan. I'm not an ass kiss. I don't see you as better than me. I don't see you as less than me. I simply just see you, but I also see me. And in a lot of these systems, such as the military and corporate, and in these industries and stuff, they're very steeped in hierarchy thinking. They're very steeped in, I'm better than you, you're less than me, you need to kiss my ass, you need to be my fan, you need to be my follower. And I'm just not built for that. Look, regardless if you're a poor person, a homeless person on the road, or if you are the president of the United States, I'm pretty much going to treat you the same. And that's with humanity and respect. I'm going to treat you humane. I'm going to be respectful to you. Because at the end of the day, you're a being on this planet. And everybody and everything is deserving of respect. But no, I'm not going to overextend myself just because you got more money and more status or whatever. To me, those are illusions. Those are illusions. Those pass away. And I'm not going to think I'm better than you because you don't have money, because you don't have status. Like I said, those are illusions. So, I already know I scare normal people. I'm called to divine people. I'm called to a higher level of teaching. And I think for so long, I've attempted to keep stuff general so everybody can kind of, get in and everybody can relate. And I know I'm being called up out of that. I know I'm being called to teach truthfully what you know. It gets deep, it gets intense. It goes over a lot of people's head, but not the ones that you were sent for. Not the divine ones. They're going to get you. They're going to get exactly what you're talking about and what you're saying. They're going to be able to take the hard lessons, the blunt truth. They're going to be able to take that. Jessica, you were not called for average people, for normal people. No, you're a little bit too much for them. You're a little overwhelming for them, honey. You're a little too intense, a little too deep. Those are not your people. It's not about less or better. It's not about that. It's about alignment, knowing your place, knowing where you need to be and who you for. Who you for. So with all that being said, divine ones, it's time to get into divine destiny, alignment, and purpose. We're past the time of trying to conform and fit in with this world. You have never fit in with this world, and you never will, because you were not created to fit in and conform to this world. You were created to be a catalyst for rapid transformation. So it's time to get in. It's time to get in alignment. It's time to stop being low-key and hiding. It's time to come out and do what you were called to do. Everything is set up for you to win. Why are you worried about haters? Why are you worried about the evil eye? Why are you worried about these people who don't really even have no power, baby? You have all the power. You are directly connected to the divine. And you worried about these little folks with their little evil eyes, being envious, being jealous, having stuff to say about you. You focus on the wrong things. Focus on the people that's waiting to hear and see what you got to share with the world. Focus on the people that's going to be excited to see you, who's going to be ready to support you, who's been waiting for you. They've been waiting for you and the gifts that you have to bestow upon this earth. Because the thing is, when you're divine and you're walking in alignment and purpose, you are shifting not only communities, but generations to come. Generations to come. And that's why it's so important for you to get in alignment with your purpose and your destiny, because you're holding up generations and communities. When you're abundant, when you're seen, you cause shift and transformation for the positive. You uplift everybody for generations to come. And that's why it's so crucial that you get in alignment that you stop hiding, that you stop trying to work these little pitiful jobs, that you stop doubting yourself, that you stop thinking you're not ready, that you stop thinking you're not good enough. You already know the power and the potential and the purpose that you hold and you carry. It's time to stop allowing this world to shut you down and keep you from your abundance, because that's where your abundance is going to come from. Your abundance come from you being in divine alignment and purpose. And the interesting thing is, yes, it's a little scary. Yes, it's a little fearful. Yeah, you're going to have people that try to be naysayers and stuff. But the more you get in alignment with what you were called to do, the more your joy and your peace is there. And you start to love it. And not only do you love it, but your abundance comes in. And not only do you receive, but the entire world benefits off of your gift. The entire collective benefit off of these gifts. So that's why it's necessary. You're ready. When the word talks about, the Bible talks about, I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity. See, a lot of people, they read that verse as I was born sinful and I'm just a sinful being. Yes, the sons and daughters of men, possibly yes. They were born sinful. They were born removed from God. That's what sin is, to be removed from the divine. But you were born in sin, starting out with usually your family. They usually your first ops. And you were shaped in the iniquity of this world. See, the sin that you were born in and the iniquity that you were shaped in, it put on all these layers of false you. And as you go through your spiritual awakening, you're pulling off all of this not you in order to get back to the divine you that you were created and born to be. You were created with perfection. And this world put its sin and its iniquity on you. And this is why you're so resistant to walking in your purpose and your divine alignment. It's time to stop confusing yourself with the world. You are a son, a daughter of the Most High, of the source, of the Almighty. Stop thinking that you're like the sons and daughters of man, that you're like the sons and daughters of the lab. For those who know who I'm talking about, the clones, baby. You are a son, a daughter of the Most High, of the Almighty. And I'm not talking about in religious talk. I'm talking about the all. It's time to stop trying to fit in with the rules, the regulations, and the ways of being of this world, of the sons and daughters of men, of the sons and daughters of the lab. It's time to stop trying to fit in and live by their way of living. You were born with higher consciousness. You were born with a direct connection to the divine. You don't need the rule books, the laws, the regulations to tell you how to be a person that works in unity and balance with this world. You don't need a book to tell you not to harm people and kill people. Some people do. If they didn't have rules, regulations, and laws and religions, the people, a lot of these folks would be something else. It says the laws are for the lawless. The rules are for the ones who need it. When you're divine, you're born with a high level of consciousness that speaks these things to you already. The law's already within your heart. You already know it ain't okay to go around harming people because you're divine. Now, those other people, no, somebody has to tell them. Somebody has to put them in a state of fear to get them to do what is good for the balance of the world and others. Somebody has to give them a rule book, because if they don't have any rules or laws, they wreak havoc. You are not those people, and you need to know the difference. So like I said, that would be another video. I'll be talking about that on YouTube. But it's time to get into alignment. It's time to answer the call. It's time to stop thinking that you're like this world. It's time to realize who you truly are. And you're called to be the example. You're called to be literally the glory of God. I wrote in another post that a lot of, religion, indoctrination and stuff teach that, Jesus was the only one of his kind. Jesus was fully the divine and fully human. Well, I'm here to tell you, Jesus is not the only one of his kind. There are plenty of us that are fully divine and fully human. There are plenty of us that are truly made in the image of God and truly carrying the power and presence of God. And that's who I would call the divine ones. We're here to be a mirror and an example to humanity. What does it look like to be in balance with yourself, with the divine, and with this world? What it looks like to be in harmony. We are the example, the power and the presence of the divine on this land. And that's why these people don't understand you. That's why they're foreign to you and you're foreign to them. That's why they don't think you're real. They don't think you truly exist. They think you're too perfect. You're too good because they can't grasp how are you so godly like, and you're not even trying. And I can't find a flaw on you. I can't find where you're fake and you're phony. I just cannot. Because you were born divine. I need you to get into alignment. I need you to stop playing low key and trying to hide the very gifts that you're trying to hide and keep low key is the very gifts that you were sent to transform and shift this place. It's time to wake up, realize who you are, realize who your people are, and get in your place. And for those who may be offended by what I have said, oh well, the message is not for you, honey. It doesn't apply. That's why you can't relate. That's why you can't relate, because you're just not in. You're not in. My message resonates with the folks that it needs to resonate with. Everybody outside of that, like I told you, everybody's not the same, and that's okay. So if it hits you real negative, it makes you it ain't for you, baby. Because this message is truly to inspire and to call up and out those who are truly divine. Because it's time to pop out. We're done hiding. We're done playing low key. We done conforming. Come out the closet. Because the whole house is getting knocked down. You ain't got no choice, baby.